Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. I didn't think the Osmo 360 would be my main camera, and it's still not. But somehow, it's the one I ended up relying on the most. And that doesn't really make sense because on paper, and in most situations that I film in, walk and talk vlogs or sit down talking heads, I normally reach for a normal action camera like the one I'm filming on at the moment, the Osmo Action 6, or the Osmo Pocket 3. In fact, I actually brought the Pocket 3 with me to film a talk recently at the photography and video show, fully planning to use it, and then I just didn't. I switched to the Osmo 360 instead last minute. And that decision says everything about what this camera is and the filming situations that it's really good for. And the reason my decision to reach for it more and more is a little bit odd is because nothing about the Osmo 360 should make it the camera that I rely on the most. It's not the one that I would use if I was looking to get the best looking footage, for example, and it's definitely not the one that I'd recommend as someone's main camera because it creates extra work. But even knowing all of that, I still keep choosing it because in certain situations it removes a problem that those other cameras create. Now that understanding does come from how time consuming it can be when you film solo by yourself, like I do a lot of the time, or most of the time, all the time. You're not just filming, you're also setting everything up. You're putting the camera in place, walking back, checking it, adjusting it, doing it a few times to make sure it's right. And even then, you're not always sure. You film it and then realise that you missed what you were actually trying to capture. And there's nothing quite like that feeling when you think, shit, I missed the shot, or I'm not even in the frame in the first place. I'm sure you felt that before. And from there, you really have two options. Either film it all again, or accept the fact that the moment's gone, or it's one of those ones where you can't actually repeat what you just did anyway. So that is exactly what I didn't want to be dealing with when I was trying to film my talk, because I was rolling solo. I was by myself. I bought the Osmo Pocket 3 with me for that exact reason, to use the tracking. But the more I thought about it, the more I realised I'd still only be relying on one angle, like the previous time that I filmed myself doing my talk. If something didn't quite track properly or something happens that I hadn't planned for, I'd miss the entire thing and I wouldn't actually know until afterwards watching the footage back. And that was enough for me to say no. So I grabbed the Osmo 360 instead, put it on the monopod and just hit record, leaving it to do its thing. I didn't have to check anything, no adjusting the angle, not second guessing myself. I just knew whatever happened, it'd be captured. And that's really what it comes down to, because with my action cameras or my Osmo Pocket 3, I would be trying to get the shot right in the moment. With the Osmo 360, I'm not doing that. I'm just making sure it's being captured, and instead of committing to one angle, one frame, one decision, I'm capturing everything around me. And I can decide later what the shot is, when I can actually see what happened and remember what happened from the day, and then choose how I want that shot to look. And I know what you might be thinking, that sounds like a right faff. And honestly, I was right there with you in the beginning, trust me. But that's only true if you don't know what you're looking for, which is why you still need to use the camera for the right reason. If I just want a clip of me climbing, for example, or something quick while I'm out, I'm not figuring anything out or trying to be creative. They're just functional shots. I track myself in the app and I'm done. It's literally full tracking. Same thing when I was at a waterfall in Thailand. It started pissing it down. I was trying to get across the slippery rocks to the other side and not fall on my arse. I hit record in case I did fall on my arse. It would make for a good insert for my vlog, but I knew that I could just capture everything and grab what I needed from it later. And that's why the Osmo 360 pretty much changes how I film. I'm not trying to control or preempt the moment anymore. I just let things unfold and know that I've got it either way. I've also been leaning more towards shooting in D-Log-M with the Osmo 360 because I think it just looks cleaner. Whereas normally with any of my other DJI action cameras or even the Pocket 3, I am happy to use the normal colour profile with some adjustments to the image and only use D-Log-M when I'm using multiple DJI cameras in the same video. definitely found that I get the best overall look and quality with the Osmo 360 when I do shoot in D-Log-M. Now, even though this camera is very much a go-to for me, it does not replace everything. It's another tool, and as I always say across multiple videos, choose the right camera based on the situation, not the specs that you're reading from the camera itself. However, I did have somebody a few weeks back, it might have been a couple months back actually, ask me if I could only use one camera and one microphone, what would they be? And honestly, the Osmo 360 would probably be it, just because it gives me the best bits of each of the cameras that I currently own. And it will always guarantee that I will always come back with something that I can use, no matter the situation. Now, if you are going to use a camera like the Osmo 360, getting your settings right and using the right mode makes like the Osmo 360. Getting your settings right and using the right mode makes a big difference, because it's one thing trying to capture everything, it's another actually liking how it looks afterwards. So I've linked that video in the description where I go through a couple of different modes and some settings that I used. And I'll also show you how I actually turn the footage into something watchable without overcomplicating the edit. Again, like I said, I film very intentionally with this and I'm not trying to be creative. They are very much functional shots. And also, I know that this 360 editing video is long overdue. I've had so many people ask me recently when I'm going to do that video. So I will do that video very soon. I know I've said this before, but I will do it very soon. Until then, I will catch you on the next video.